play this? Can you play the kabasa? Can you go in? Sure. Out. One, high, high. Four. One, two, three, four. In, out, in, four. Can you do that? You just sort of hold that in your left hand. Yeah, that's it. Dun, dun. Okay, so you have to be around and you're going to play this real closely. And I'll remind you of the rhythm. I'll go, stop, stop. You just hold it in your hand and go, it's so cool. It's such a neat instrument, you know. It is. These little balls roll against the up, in, up, in. You got two ins in a row.
You're almost doing it.
I'll make a
You're
show.
doing the 16th there. I mean,
well, it's in. Yeah, that's right. One the end, that's two the end. Three, and one, and two, and one the end, that's two. Yeah. So I'm going to make a show of bringing it over to you, handing it to you.
okay.
And going, fun, fun, fun. And we're going to start it together. I'm going to try to find somebody to play this. Laurie, can you play this? Can you go 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'll find somebody else to do this. You can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Right?
Lori just asked.
I'll go like this and no, not now. That's for the post loop.
For the post loop. Lori just asked, how's it going with the house?
It's sold. I got a contract. I'll tell you more later.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I sent you an
It was
update.
slightly over asking. It wasn't the big 50 I read about. I'm a little late for all that. I got a fair price.
Good.
See Joanne? There. Good morning.
Good morning.
So many things to do before you step into the center of the chancel. Welcome. It is the day after Sailfest, and I always feel that this city is taking a deep breath in the wake of so many visitors, many of whom were right here in our parking lot. More on that later. But we do breathe a sigh of gratitude, of course, to be able to once again find our way to this place on this day, in this moment, in the midst of turmoil and sorrow and joy and anticipation. And so we come, of course, and gather on this land of the Nahantic people and the Mashantucket Pequots. We are so grateful for their history, for all that they do to honor customs and this place. And we enter into our own moment, an hour of worship, giving thanks that we are able to do so with a memory of times past when we were not. And so we give thanks and turn to each other and say, welcome to All Souls, where all souls are welcome. You are joyfully called to worship. Those of you in the online pews, you are joyfully called to worship. Let us begin this hour together. I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit, and we will join our voices in singing When the Summer Sun is Shining. It is a melody that is familiar. Bill, I'm going to ask you to play it through once so that we get the hang of it. We're all learning a lesson in how important the syntax of those slides are, right? Yeah, a hymn less familiar. Yes, of course. And now we look to each other. We take this moment to pass the peace. Yes, we all see people we know and love in these slides, which is so lovely. I invite those of you in Unity Hall to turn to our friends in the online pews and welcome them warmly. We see you and we know you are waving back. So let's turn to each other and wish each other a greeting of peace. Peace be with you all. I forgot something very important. I forgot last week too. We'll catch up. If you're here for the first time, I invite you to raise your hand so we know to welcome you. We see you. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. You don't normally get applause, so that's good. That's good. Yes, I said with Kyle. Yes, and I see back here. And those of you in the online pews, if you are comfortable making your presence known in the chat so that we can welcome you there as well if you are here for the first time. Liz Binger is our liturgist this morning, and she will lead us into the chalice lighting.
I'm trying different glasses this morning. Last time I couldn't see with them on and I couldn't see with them off. So we're going to see if this is better. To begin each worship service, we light our chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism, symbol of courage, liberation, and freedom. I invite you to say these words together. What a treasure are these summer days. Maybe treasure is anything that reminds you what a miracle it is to be alive. For this treasure, for this miracle, we give thanks. Thank you.
And Liz will light our peace candle, and we're going to light this candle in thanks as much as in peace. It was a big day here in the city yesterday. Usually about 200,000 people make their way to the city. And anymore, I'm sure all of us harbor a fear that something is going to go terribly, horribly wrong. And so we light this chalice on this day to say that nothing did. That from all stories that I have heard, people had a good time. It was a beautiful day, and for this, with some bittersweetness in our hearts, we give thanks and we light a candle of peace for all of the places where people thought they were going to a concert, going to dance for the night, going to a movie, and tragedy struck instead. We hold this candle of peace for their hearts and their peace. Amen. Amen. And thanks for bringing the flowers for the community vases. Beautiful. And Sue Frankowitz, I suspect this is your arrangement here. Is that right? Yeah, it's beautiful. Because you're a beautiful flower arranger.
This morning, our reading is Above Ground by Clint Smith. For weeks, we can't go outside without the cicadas' song wrapping itself around the three of us like a quilt. The tree in our front yard has become their sanctuary, a place where they all seem to congregate and sing their first and final songs. We get closer and see the way their exoskeletons ornament the bark like golden ghosts, shadows abandoned by their bodies, searching for new life. One of you is 4 years old. One of you is 2. The next the cicadas rise out of the earth, you will be 21 and 19. I think of how much might change between these cycles. How much of our planet will still be intact? What sort of societies will the cicadas return to when they next make their way up from the earth? When they first arrive, you were both frightened of this new noise that hangs in the air, of these small orange and black-winged bodies that fall from the sky like new rain. They don't bite, I say, but neither of you believes me. So I reach out to one of the branches and allow one of the orange-eyed creatures to climb onto my finger. You both watch it roam around my hand as it becomes familiar with the flesh of my palm, your eyes widening at the revelation that this infrequent visitor has no interest in piercing my skin. And maybe that is enough, because now you both try to pick the cicadas up from the ground and collect them in buckets as if they are treasure. And maybe they are. Maybe treasure is in what dies almost as quickly as it rises from the earth. Maybe treasure is anything that reminds you what a miracle it is to be alive. And so ends the reading.
It's a pretty clappy crowd this morning. We do. Many years ago, we recorded a video of All Souls elders wishing the children a happy summer. Some of you may have been part of that. For the life of me, I could not find this video this past week. I'm determined to find it, though. They did so, each and every one, by sharing their favorite things about the season, and then basically wishing that favorite thing to each of the children. So beautiful. All of the answers that were shared, they each felt like a poem for the scenes they evoked. Swinging on swings, lying in soft grass and looking up into the branches and leaves, ice cream cones melting down hands and arms. You were there, Arlene. Yeah. A summer poem, like summer itself, has a slower pace. It takes a long look around and finds there a soft breeze, blistering heat, languishing humidity, ocean, river, lake, pool, sprinkler, fire hydrant, the inviting meadow, the city stoop, the loon's song, the ice cream truck's music, the long-awaited perennial bloom. So take a moment, I invite you to bring yourself to a quiet sense of summer sweetness and peace. Clint Smith's is a summer poem, one with that slower pace, and yet his consciousness is propelled from the present as his concern for his children causes him to wonder. One of you is 4 years old, he says. One of you is 2. The next cicadas rise out of the earth. When they do, you will be 19 and 21. And I hear my grandmother's stock response to such declarations. I hear her loud and clear say, God willing. God willing, those beautiful children will live to see 21 and 19. And then the source of the poet's rightful concern. I think of how much might change between these cycles. How much of our planet will still be intact, he asks. What sort of societies will the cicadas return to when they next make their way up from the earth? Again, my grandmother's voice rises from the grave. God willing. God willing, we will not have made our beautiful earthly home completely uninhabitable for human beings. God willing, we will not have made a complete mess out of the inalienable rights we declare as Americans: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And although part of me does not hold my grandmother's theology, there is plenty of me that responds, amen, and amen, and for the love of all that is good, amen. Amen. And so with all of that being said, let us venture to the poet's front yard. It is a summer when the cicadas are, of course, reemerging from their resting places. It's been 17 years since they last appeared. I did a little bit of rabbit hole falling about cicadas as I prepared for this, and I learned some interesting things. One is that there is a belief, that's probably not the right word to use in a scientific lab, but there is an idea, there is a theory, there is a belief that the cicadas have lasted as long as they have because they submerge for as long as they do. And so predators do not come to expect them or rely on them, and so they continue on and on and on since the millennia. I learned that locusts are not cicadas, that cicadas are insects, but not bugs. So that and $1, I'll get you a cup of coffee, right? But the poet's young children are seeing these mysterious creatures, and they are mysterious for the first time. So not to disrupt your quiet sense of sweet summer peace, but do you remember the first time you encountered the cicadas? I do. I was 17, almost 18, and I remember it so well. The crunch underneath my feet, the wondering about their song, so loud, right? Although they are not the loudest, more things that I learned. They are not the loudest of the insect world. Yes, we all remember it. Who of you is recalling a calm and curious encounter? Yeah. I bet that most of us remember not so calm first reactions to our first encounter. Perhaps quite a few of us conjured images of plagues we once thought were surely and strictly biblical myth. Not surprisingly, at first the poet's two young children are not so keen on the mysterious insects. We are, after all, initially afraid of what we do not know. Having experience with cicadas, their father seeks to tamp down their fear and ramp up their curiosity. They don't bite, he says, but neither of his children believes him. So he reaches out to one of the branches and allows one of the orange-eyed creatures to climb onto his finger. His children watch it roam around his hand as it becomes familiar with the flesh of his palm. Their eyes widen at the revelation that this infrequent visitor has no interest in piercing their father's skin. Their insect nature is revealed. They don't bite. They have no interest in piercing the skin. The infrequent visitors come seeking sanctuary in the tree in the front yard, after all. The children's eyes widen, as do our hearts widen when fear morphs into curiosity. As do our hearts widen when we learn that those who we thought would do harm are only seeking sanctuary. And now I am not talking about cicadas, if I may hit you over the head with the metaphor. And maybe that is enough. Because then both children try to pick up the cicadas from the ground and collect them in buckets as if they are treasure. And maybe they are. Maybe that is enough. To know that the cicadas will not hurt them, that is enough to inspire a search for a bucket and then collecting what is now considered treasure. The father holds the possibility lightly. I like this about this poem. Maybe that is enough. Maybe they are. And the mystery of time returns to the father's contemplation. Maybe treasure he contemplates is in what dies almost as quickly as it rises from the earth. Maybe treasure is anything that reminds you what a miracle it is to be alive. As the cicada, we are here on this earth in this life for a very brief moment. A moment only, really. So what a blessing. A blessing that is on the wing each new day. What a blessing to be reminded what a miracle it is to be alive. Everything okay? Okay. We are reminded of this, of course, in every season. But in the summer, we slow down. I hope we slow down and let the light and heat do its bidding, natural inspiration to sit down and put our feet up and wonder and make meaning of all that is our lives. And maybe that is enough. May the congregation say amen. Amen. I invite you into a communion of silence so that we may hold close our favorite things about summer, not the least of which is slowing down. We turn our hearts to a spirit of generosity as the offering will be taken up. Let us speak these words together. We give to the work of all souls. Our work weaves the fabric of love called community. To this end, we dedicate ourselves and this our offering. The offering will be gratefully received. For all that you have shared and all that you have sacrificed, thank you. Thank you. For those of you in the online pews, if you are donating electronically, we just want to remind, and those of you in Unity Hall as well, that Venmo is the preferred electronic giving app. So if you could, I'm sorry? Venmo. Okay. Well, we can talk later, but just a little hint. Okay. All right. We'll talk later, Frank. Thank you once again. Yeah. And so we now are at the point in our service where we turn to each other and share in our joy and concern, all that we have lived through and with in the week just past and perhaps extending beyond that. And so we open this circle and time for you, those of you in the online pews, if you would like something to be shared here in the hall, I invite you to write it into the chat and I will share it at that point. Please, again, a reminder, please don't respond to each other to make it easier to read as it comes. Those of you in Unity Hall, know that the book in the lobby is there for you to write in what you'd like to have shared. And of course, for everybody, beloved community at allsouls.net. We open this circle and this time for the creating and sustaining of beloved community. Thank you. Isn't it cool? Thanks. Thank you. Hi, Mary Lou. You're welcome. Got it. Okay. There wasn't anything indicated in the book this morning, and so from the online pews, I'm going to share this. Julie Olson shares that Bill's playing always speaks to her heart, and I think a moment of gratitude for Bill. Yes. Frank is here, of course, this morning. Frank, we're so glad to see you. Glad that the surgery is done, and he is hoping for, and we hope with you, Frank, a speedy recovery from nerve surgery. Yes, Frank. Eleanor McClellan is so looking forward to her Three Sisters reunion for a few precious days next weekend. Oh, to be reunited with sisters is always a wonderful thing, Eleanor. We wish you the best. And I think that is all that has been shared online in the book. And so if you would lead us in prayer and meditation, Liz.
Please join me in prayer and meditation. Spirit of life, of love, Holy One, in all the ways known and named, rise up in our minds and hearts on this summer day. Fill us with the assurance that treasure is anything that reminds us of what a miracle it is to be alive, so that we may enter the day with curiosity and compassion, so that we may weave the fabric of community from our separate threads in strength and beauty. May the sorrow both here and shared and held in the quiet of the soul, may it be lightened in the company of hearts and care. And may the joy both evident and held close be sustained and strengthened. We give thanks this day, this moment, for the miracle of being alive. We give thanks and say, Amen.
I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit. Join your voices in singing our closing hymn, For the Earth Forever Turning. Don't you love that hymn? Let us join our voices in extinguishing the chalice together. Our service has ended, but our work is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. Our chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. For those of you at home, I invite you, as we have done for 3 years, to put your hand to your heart and reach out to the world beyond your screen. Know that you are with us, and for those in Unity Hall, you may do the same, or both arms reaching out. We reach out, reminded of the miracle that is our lives. George Fargo is in the online pews. He says over and over, like a mantra in his life, life is the greatest gift. And so let us be reminded of that miracle. Let us be reminded that those who we fear sometimes seek only sanctuary. And may we go with compassion and curiosity. Go in peace and return again with great joy. Amen. Amen. I invite you to be seated for the postlude. That's so great. Thank you to our guest percussionists, Kyle and Charlie. Thank you. Okay, a couple of things for you to know. Next week is our Good Neighbor offering, and the beneficiary this month is the New London Public Library. So they do such great work in our community, and so we would like to support them. And the food for the people, the item is pasta. Pasta. So don't forget. Good Neighbor offering, pasta. I don't remember who is leading the service next week. Karen Ethier Waring is leading the service next week, and Charlie is offering a reflection. Anybody else? And Lisa Ritz, who is also here today. I want to thank. Good for you. I would also like to thank the volunteers who helped with our Sail Fest parking fundraiser. I think Tony Sormosky is here, Steve is here, Emily is here, Jules is here, Susan, who else? Jean Gerbert, who volunteered with my spouse. Thank you all very much. We raised close to $2,000, so that is fantastic. So thank you all for that. I think once all is said and done and we get the Venmo things, we'll get just about to 2,000, so good work. I think that is everything. Thanks for remembering the community vase. Keep that going. It's so beautiful, right? If you're here for the first time, and some of you are, our welcome table is where Lynn is waving to you now. If you want to learn more about All Souls and about Unitarian Universalism, that's the place to go. The kitchen is packed up and there's no coffee hour. We may have jumped the gun on that, but I know you know how to talk with each other without coffee in your hands. So off you go. I will see you in a couple of weeks, and in the meantime, be at peace. Oh, yes, so sorry, yes. We are going to meet in about 5 minutes in the kitchen. Those of you who would like to share a summer poem, if you'd like to come to just listen, I brought a couple of poems, and we will we'll enjoy the cadence and music of those beautiful pieces of art. Thanks for being here.